me as I lay in a hospital bed. The blinding fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, my nostrils filled with that bleach hospital smell overpowering me in the cramped, chilly room. My wife squeezed my hand, tears streaming down her cheeks. "No," she cried, he can't live the rest of his life in a wheelchair." "Without the amputation," he told me, "you'll be dead within a year." I couldn't believe it. My passion had always been hiking, and my wife and I had dreamed of one day hiking the Appalachian Trail. But 4 years ago, the doctors were going to put me under anesthesia and cut off my legs, leaving nothing but worthless stumps. All because I was one of 115 million Americans with pre-diabetes or diabetes, the disease that ran rampant through my body, thrashing the blood vessels in my limbs until it practically cut off the circulation to my legs. The doctor made it clear that if he didn't amputate, my legs would rot like spoiled meat. So what happened? And why am I telling you this? Well, I'll answer the second question first. My name is David Andrews, and I'm telling you this because I don't want you to go through the same horrifying experience that I did. Now, when all this happened, I didn't know all that much about this debilitating and potentially deadly disease. But now, I've done my homework, and in my research, I've uncovered some eye-opening, even shocking facts. But I've also found hope for folks like me, folks who have diabetes. Now, a lot of folks act like I did when I got diagnosed with diabetes. We let the statistics go in one ear and out the other. But this is important, because every single person represented in these statistics is someone like you and me. A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a son or a daughter, grandparents, friends, neighbors, co-workers, loved ones, you and me. We don't think we're going to become a statistic, but that's what this horrible disease does to folks like us. Like the stat I was being faced with that day at the hospital. Did you know that every day over 200 people with diabetes have a limb amputated? That's over 70,000 per year. And even more distressing, 1 in 4 didn't know that they had diabetes until it was too late. But worst of all, amputation, well, it isn't even the most dangerous part of uncontrolled blood sugar. You may or may not know that diabetes also leads to Alzheimer's, dementia, heart failure, and cancer. You see, when you have excess glucose, your blood becomes a nutrition-packed smoothie for cancer tumors. It helps them grow at deadly speeds. That's why the Harvard Medical School Cancer Center has warned that up to 80% of all cancer is at least partially caused by imbalanced blood glucose and insulin. Oh, but it doesn't end there. A study published in the medical journal Neurology found that diabetes almost doubled the risk of dementia. Your glucose-packed blood constantly rushes through your brain, adding to the buildup that causes Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. Now, when I read that, I had trouble not imagining it happening inside my own brain. As I kept reading about my disease, it only got worse. One study showed that if you got diabetes, your risk of heart attack is 11 times higher than the average person. Now, at my age, I already had to worry about heart attacks, and it was terrifying to learn that my risk was so much higher than I thought. Another study found that diabetes increases your risk of having a stroke by 150%, and during a stroke, diabetes makes it even harder for blood to get to your brain. For most people, a stroke has about a 17% chance of being fatal, but if you're diabetic, a stroke is almost a 100% death sentence. I knew type 2 diabetes was bad, but it wasn't until I found these stats that I realized just how deadly of a situation I was in. So if high blood sugar and type 2 diabetes are so deadly, why do most doctors prescribe treatments that only manage the symptoms while ignoring the root cause? Especially when new research has revealed the real cause of diabetes and provided a simple solution to jumpstart your body's blood glucose regulation system. The short answer is that in the last few years, 11 pharmaceutical giants have been caught bribing hospitals and doctors to prescribe their medicine, regardless of the best treatment. But I'll share those details with you in just a second. First, I want to tell you the story of my own diabetes battle and tell you the story of how Dr. Roy Taylor solved that decades-old medical mystery and changed diabetes treatment as we know it forever, and how you can use his scientific discoveries to restore your healthy blood sugar and even reverse your type 2 diabetes. This new solution works by jump-starting your pancreas, the part of your body that keeps your blood sugar levels healthy, keeping away insulin resistance. With this pancreas jumpstart solution that I'm about to show you, you'll be able to reverse your type 2 diabetes, sharply reducing or even eliminating your need for medication. When you watch this video to the very end, I'm also going to show you the easiest, most relaxing trick I use to instantly lower my blood sugar after I enjoy something sweet. Because I'm a sucker for a can of Coke or a bowl of vanilla ice cream and apple pie. It isn't some gimmick you see on the internet, like drinking gallons of water or soaking your food in vinegar. It's just cold, hard facts discovered by medical researchers to keep your blood sugar down for up to 24 hours. Because when you jumpstart your pancreas, you'll be able to do it without losing your favorite foods, without getting drenched in sweat and gasping for breath from exhausting workouts, and without eating impossible levels of self-control. But I'll warn you, the $245 billion pharmaceutical industry is making a fortune with their insanely priced insulin shots and oral medications, which come packed with painful side effects and only help manage the symptoms of your diabetes, leaving you on diabetes life support until you die. You should know that in late 2014, the federal government slapped diabetes medication manufacturer Sanofi with fraud charges for bribing hospitals and doctors millions of dollars to push their medication on innocent people with diabetes like you and me. And they're just one of over 40 pharmaceutical companies who have faced similar fraud charges in the last 10 years. Once the word spreads about jump-starting your pancreas to reverse type 2 diabetes, Big Pharma is going to be out billions of dollars. So you can imagine the fraudster CEOs aren't happy that you're watching this. Because once you know these secrets, you're only weeks away from reversing your type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, and for some people, it's as quick as 11 days. It doesn't matter if you've had your disease for decades. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if your blood sugar levels are sky high. Just imagine, once you discover how to jumpstart your pancreas, which I'll show you in this presentation, you'll be free from annoying insulin shots and painful finger pricks. You'll say goodbye to medicines that make you fat and nauseous. You'll stop worrying about early death, amputations, and risky surgeries. Your painful, tingling neuropathy in your feet, your hands, and everywhere else in your body will just fade away. You'll remove the stress of wondering when your vision will completely fail, leaving you blind for the rest of your life. You'll break free from the anxiety of constantly monitoring your blood sugar, watching jealously as other people eat your favorite foods. Oh, and you'll never again feel like a burden on your family and friends. Just like Andrew from Battleground, Washington, who said, "Your presentation showed me the simple solution to my diabetes, and you had the science to back it up. My doctor was shocked when I told him that I hadn't needed an insulin shot for weeks. He had to test my blood sugar himself to believe it. I reversed my diabetes in just 17 days. And there's Doug from Salt Lake City, Utah, who said, "Just the thought of vacation or even a day on the town made me feel exhausted. Diabetes made me feel like a prisoner in my own life. I'm so glad that I found this scientifically proven way to reverse my type 2 diabetes." Everybody with type 2 diabetes needs to watch this video right now so they can reverse their diabetes in just a few weeks. Listen, it's not your fault you have this disease, and it's not an issue of being skinny or fat. Once you know the real cause of type 2 diabetes, you'll sharply reduce or even eliminate your need for medication, which you can imagine will put a dent in the fraudulent profits of those 11 pharmaceutical companies. So turn off your cell phone, grab a pen and paper. You're about to discover how to destroy your type 2 diabetes. First, let me introduce myself. My name is David Andrews. I'm 51. I have